Voting is very important, and we know how important this moment is. So make sure y'all get those ballots filled out, man, and take care of that side, because it will make a difference. And we want to see change, and this is our opportunity to do so.
NBA superstar LeBron James making a last-minute plea for voters to make their voices heard. During the racial unrest that gripped the summer, James and his fellow NBA players halted the playoffs to demand action on systemic racism. One of their goals was to increase access to voting locations during the pandemic. Pro sports team owners agreed, and during this election season, more than 24 arenas and stadiums across the country have opened up to voters. Caitlin Huey-Burns gives us a look at this new voting experience.
Good, come on over. You ready to vote? Yes.
This is not your average polling place.
Can I get you to fill this out for me?
Forget cramped community centers, church basements, and school cafeterias. Voting this year is getting a major league upgrade. With the pandemic straining resources to conduct elections, professional sports teams stepped up to the plate to fill an urgent need in their communities.
Over 20 NBA teams are offering up their arenas as early voting sites or polling locations, including right here in Cleveland. And here in Detroit at the Pistons Performance Center, you can vote early by dropping off your ballot at a secure drop box. And here in Atlanta, State Farm Arena became the largest early voting location in the state of Georgia. As you can see, it's a massive space that allows for social distancing, it's close to transportation, and they offer free parking.
That's really a win-win for everyone. They've also loaned their people, and so really come alongside the county to provide additional manpower resources. They're used to having 35,000 people show up at a concert, things like that. So voters, easy peasy for them.
It was the easiest thing ever. I'm so happy.
The attitude of the people were just like if you were going to a game. They acted like they were excited for you to come in and vote.
It's been so long since, we've been able to go to any games or anything, so it's kind of nice being in there. It, reminded me of good times.
Everybody was almost like they were a voting team because they all had on their shirts for voting. It was cute.
Teams are involved in nearly every aspect of the voting process. Charlotte residents have been able to vote during Carolina Panthers football games. Stadiums like Detroit's Ford Field will store ballots and election equipment for safekeeping in case of a recount. But it's the players who have been the driving force.
This was always about more than basketball. And while the season is over, the work is not.
Pushing their team's arenas to be more than a venue. LeBron James has been at the forefront, recruiting over 10,000 people to serve as poll workers through his group, More Than a Vote.
As a community, we really want change. And it doesn't not only just end in November, but it starts there.
What is going to be the effect of having these sports teams involved in this process?
It was much more than just saying we want to get out and vote this year. We needed trusted voices, people who would break through rhetoric and actually, communicate to voters about how to vote and how to make sure their voices are heard this year. And that's really where our prominent athletes and sports leaders played a critical role.
So hearing this information from your local sports team is kind of like hearing it from a trusted source.
Exactly. At a time when we need more trusted voices to provide accurate information about our elections. It was, a great example of leadership and really helped address a lot of our concerns in the election administration world in Michigan as to how we were going to, in Detroit in particular, meet these extraordinary needs of elections this year.
And on Election Day in Cleveland, some residents will have their chance to cast a ballot at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse.
What safety precautions are you taking to make sure that they'll feel comfortable voting?
First of all, we'll do normal health protocol. We'll do temperature checks. We'll have everything socially distant in terms of the machines and the setup here as well. Everyone will have been a mask environment. Plus, we have an incredible amount of square footage that are able to work with in terms of even an environment that is much more expansive than what might be a typical voting location that enables us to have even a greater expanse between people and polling locations.
The idea that you're going to be able to come and vote in your hometown arena, do you think that will have an effect in getting more people out to vote?
We certainly hope so. This is a destination everyone knows about, so we think making it easy, safe environment, dynamic environment, a fun setting. Who doesn't love coming to the Fieldhouse?
For CBS This Morning Saturday, Caitlin Huey-Burns, New York.
Great job, Caitlin.
Yeah.
She was all over the country for that one.
Yeah, you liked that too, didn't you?
Yeah, it's good. It's a triple stand-up.
I voted actually at Madison Square Garden and didn't think about it until watching the piece that it is this idea of the broader space. Everybody was there and they did cheer when you walked out. Just
and
like
that enthusiasm, we'll hear a little more about later in the show.
Good thing that athletes didn't shut up and dribble.
Yeah. Wow. You went there.
Well, that's what they've been saying. It's true.
It's true.
They make a difference.
That's right.